Everyone, welcome back, and this is going to be the second instalment of my flawless makeup that lasts all day. If you haven't seen my video for how to make your face makeup last all day, there will be a link in the description box and at the end of this video. But this one's going to be on how to make your eye makeup last all day, because this is definitely something I struggled with in the past, having kind of panda eyes with mascara and eyeliner smudged everywhere and my eyeshadow lasting hardly any time. So this is what I use and what works for me. As ever, don't feel you need to follow all of the steps or use the exact same products I did. This is just what I would recommend and what I like using. So I hope you find this video helpful, and let's get started. Okay, so for eye makeup, the first thing you want to do, like your skin, is to start with some kind of primer. And what I'm going to do is use an Urban Decay primer potion. You can get some MAC paint pots that work quite well as a base. I find that the Urban Decay primers are the best ones and make your makeup really last the longest amount of time. This is a slightly coloured one. This is in the colour Sin, but you can just use the original one. If you haven't got a primer, then what you can do is apply some foundation, or a concealer kind of works best, some kind of thick creamy concealer, and just apply that all over your eye area just to give it a base. Onto the actual eyeshadow application, and it doesn't matter if you haven't got the kind of best kind of eyeshadows. I really love the Urban Decay ones, but I equally like using drugstore brands, and this is a Wet n Wild trio. I really love the colours in this one. I'm just going to use a slightly darker colour than maybe an everyday makeup look, just so you can see. And I'm going to use this flat shaded brush like this, and what this allows is for you to really pack the colour onto the brush, and then what you want to do is tap off the excess, so you're not left with loads of fallout underneath. And then you want to pat this onto your lid. So this is like when we applied the foundation, we wanted to press it into the skin. You want to press the eyeshadow onto your eye. So don't just have a really fluffy brush and kind of sweep it all over. If you want it to last, you really want to press it on. I'm just going to do a very simple eye look just to kind of demonstrate it, but if you want to do a smoky eye, this will work just as well, just using the same kind of technique. And you want to kind of layer up the eyeshadow as well so that it lasts. Okay, so on to eyeliner, and I actually find this the hardest to make last longest, because I just find that my eyes water quite a lot and I end up with kind of panda eyes all under here. So one good thing is, if you're using a pencil, then a good pencil to use is the Urban Decay 24/7 liners. And I also know that the Rimmel Kajal liners, I think they're called, are kind of like a dupe for these. Although I haven't tried them, I'm going to check them out, but I've heard good reviews so far. So what you want to do is to apply it to your eye. So I just run this along the top lash line. And then what we want to do is to get a liner brush. I'm going to use a push liner brush like this one, and a matching shadow, so I'm just going to grab the black eyeshadow. And then you want to press this on top of the liner. So what this will do is it will not only correct any mistakes that you've made by smudging out, but it's like when you apply liquid foundation and then you set it with a powder. It's just going to make it last much longer. Now if you really want your eye makeup to look perfect by the end of the day, I would stop there and just line your upper lash line, because anything kind of under the eye tends to leap into that kind of panda eye zone. But if you want to, and like having a kind of full liner look, then what you can do is to take some of your primer. So I'm taking my Decay primer again and just popping a little bit on my finger and then running it underneath my eye. I'm just going to take my liner and just run it along my waterline, and then slightly under on the lower lash line. Then what you want to do is to again take your eyeshadow of a matching colour and just pop this on top. The other thing you want to do is to make sure you've really set your foundation underneath your eyes. So take some translucent face powder and just pop it underneath. And this is hopefully going to create a barrier between your skin and the liner, so hopefully it won't transfer as much. Now Although I love the Decay 24/7 liners, I still find that although they don't fade on me, they do smudge a little bit underneath here. So what I really like using is the Maybelline Eye Studio gel liners. They come in little pots like this. Bobbi Brown do some, but these are way cheaper and I think they're pretty much the same. I just take an angled liner brush and I'm just going to apply it in the exact same places as I would a pencil liner. It's just on the upper lash line. Now I actually applied this on the waterline as well, but I definitely check that it's not going to irritate your eyes or anything. Mine aren't too sensitive and I found that it's perfectly fine to use. Now everyone loves a smoky eye, but they don't tend to last quite so well with loads of kind of shadow and stuff under your eyes. But if you use the technique of laying it with a pencil or a gel liner, you can kind of get the same effect. So gel eyeliner will actually set on its own and you don't need to use a powder, but if you do like that kind of more smoky look, then just grab a little bit of powder and then just run it underneath or on top. Lashes, I would recommend that you use an eyelash curler and curl them first. So you just want to pump it at the base of the lash and then kind of go up. Because if your lashes are nice and curly to start with, then by the end of the day they'll be curlier than if you didn't curl them, if that makes sense. And I really recommend using a waterproof mascara. So this is one by Maybelline, it's the Colossal waterproof one. Mine's actually run out, so I'm just going to use an average, well this is just the non-waterproof formula. So waterproof is harder to get off, but that means that it lasts longer during the day, and a waterproof one will actually hold the curl better of your lashes, and it's less likely to transfer on here. The other important reason to kind of powder underneath your eyes is so that your mascara doesn't transfer to it, because if you've kind of got oily skin here, the mascara is more likely to rub on it than if it's a powder surface. And that is the eye makeup pretty much done. If you want your brow makeup to last a little bit more, I don't tend to bother with my brows too much, but I would just run some eyeshadow through my brows and then I would use a clear mascara and just wiggle it through to kind of set it in place, and that will pretty much last throughout the day if you want your brows to look more in place. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Hopefully you won't be stuck with panda eyes anymore in the future. If you haven't seen my last video, which was how to make your face makeup look flawless and last all day, then I'll leave it in the link in the description box and at the end of this video. And keep an eye out for my next and the last instalment of this series, which is going to be how to make your lipstick last all day. For more information on some of the products I use in this video, there's going to be some links to blog reviews in the description box, so check that out too. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you very soon. Thank you. Bye. Everyone, welcome back. I'm going to be starting a new kind of very mini series of videos, and it's how